Shovel up, cut the deck, heart and racing, what comes next? We got that opening hand, it's crazy. Turn one dreams in the air, flip that car, crowd go hazy. Every draw, we don't play fair, we got that opening hand, it's fire. Top deck, hope on demand. YouTube fam, take it higher. Hit that light with the opening hand. Sleeves on cars, camera glow, check go out already know.
All right, everybody, we're here with another ORZHOV deck. Making a couple changes real quick before we go into these games. We have some nice removal, control. I was thinking we needed more enchantment removal, but I decided to remove that. Add another full destruction of artifacts and creatures for what's going on in the meta right now. Made a little adjustments. I think the one tweak we could do to the deck is have a little bit more draw. But there is a good amount of it if you hit the cards correctly. So we'll go into these games and we'll play and you'll see what we got. So as you can see, this deck focuses around Planeswalkers, the Dollhouse, and maintaining control over their board and what they're going to do. So we flood the board with tokens, and we make sure that their key pieces are taken out, either done by specific removals, or if we get overwhelmed, we do have board clears if we need them, because obviously the Planeswalkers generate infinite creatures. So here we have 2 removals, which is great. We, in this situation, want to use our removal that doesn't take care of Planeswalkers just in case he has a Planeswalker. Obviously, his deck is going to have a couple of these enchantments, so we wanted to make sure that we remove these. So our first step is obviously taking this out, because once that gets going, you know, they have card advantage on you for the Unholy, and you do not have very much life left after the ticking clock begins. So as you can see, we are developing a board. This game we played here is a good one. We went back and forth and back and forth. This is the longest game of the 4 that we played, and it was back and forth and back and forth. So you can see we needed to remove that quickly. That was the decision there, and we dropped down our second. So in this situation, what do you want to do? You have one Planeswalker creating tokens, and then the other Planeswalker is shuffling through your deck. Obviously, we do not need. And then the beauty about when you get to surveil, you get to remove threats from their graveyard. And obviously with their crown, they're trying to pull things back from their graveyard if they need them, being a Golgari deck that has a tendency to do that. So in my mind, when I was playing this match, I was thinking, okay, I need to make sure that I remove all the threats that I can from the graveyard. One really cool thing about this deck as well is it's very minimal on creatures. We run 3 creatures in this deck. And if we need to remove them from our own graveyard, as you'll see in this game, we can, which prevents them from, you know, taking our creatures for their use. With the persistence right there, obviously. Once that came down and I saw that was in their deck, I was like, okay, we need to make sure that there's no creatures in this board. So one cool thing about this, playing the cards that we're playing, is that we do have pretty consistent spot removal from graveyard. And there's our other spot removal, Lord Skitter. He will generate us tokens as well as get us what we need. So I remove both of them. Obviously, I get rid of Lord Skitter. I put him on the summoning sick guy because I assumed that he would have removal for him, which I believe that they did. Lord Skitter. But that Lord Skitter was just around for a turn anyway because he was moved from play. So we have advantage right now. We have a lot on the board. They don't have a lot. But that can swing quick, as you all know, in this game of Magic. So as you can see, some more removal takes us down. Yep. And if they did not have that spell, we would have been able to overwhelm them pretty quickly. But they top decked the right card at the right time. And this time we do want to have our Lord Skitter come out, so we keep it at the top. And down to 6. So we're in a good spot. But again, this can swing at any moment. And there we go. We got a board wipe. Which is okay, because we have infinite token creation with our Planeswalkers. And now we're starting to get out our Lord Skitter. So we're looking good here. Are we really worried about wiping the board with them? Not really. So we can move that to the graveyard. Obviously, want to make sure there's no creatures in our deck we need to remove, and then remove card from their graveyard if we don't have anything we need to remove from ours. Now they have no graveyard. Again, maintaining control. If we get wiped, it's okay, because we can build back up. So there you go. See, that's something that is a little dangerous right there.
I see no threat that
But we managed to top deck something that we needed, which we knew we had. Try to keep that spot removal coming as best you can. Now we're building out the board. Try to end this game as quick as we can. We never really lost control, but they fought and fought. Another board wipe.
Finally, a breakthrough.
And we surveil, get rid of the cards we don't need, because what's a one drop going to do for us? Nothing. Choose a card, and I believe they whiff here, so that was not good on their part. So we won this game with a little bit better of a deck, but we also played somebody who didn't play their cards quite right. So as you can see, they whiffed. And we continue the march on. So now we have to start worrying about their creatures. So beautiful thing about this card creation, as long as they don't have trample, token creation, we have no problem blocking. Even if it's just one little blocks at a time. You want to save your board clears till there's a substantial card advantage to eliminating their cards. So obviously we don't want that card out on the floor, so we go ahead and take care of it now. And we get our blocker out.
I found an eyewitness.
We got 15 counters on our Planeswalker, so she's safe unless they got a removal spell. So there's a couple ways we could play it. We could allow ourselves to get hit. And then exile the creature on the next turn. Or we can block. We're not really worried about it. I think it might have been good to let our creature hit. But obviously we had removal, which would have taken out both creatures anyway. And now they're going to start taking out something without us. And that would not us missing, so. I believe they got rid of it, Johnny. Which is okay. We only run 2 in this deck. Oh, they got rid of my Day of Judgments, which are fine. Because we don't really need board wipes against this deck, because we have so much spot removal, especially with the combination of Lord Skidder and this Planeswalker, generating infinite tokens and then infinite exiles. I'm also able to get rid of their fountain because of my card destruction, my demolition field, which eliminates that threat. Guys, if you've made it this far into the video, consider liking and subscribing. I try to make interesting content. I love this game. I know you love this game, that's why you're watching these videos. Trying to make each other better, so consider liking and subscribing. Show me some support if you like. I would really appreciate it. I want to get to that 50 subscriber mark so I can start streaming live, which would be really cool. So that's the goal, is let's see if we can get to 50. Alright, as you can see, we start to have our infinite exile generation. And when we exile, of course, we don't have to worry about the cards in the graveyard. So this here is where draw can come into effect. But we do have fountains where we can play cards and then, draw. But we pull our Elspeth, so we're in a good spot. Got the Preacher of the Schism, which is card draw as well. So we'll throw down our Elspeth. Start pumping out some tokens. So that we can end the game.
Join the fight.
Alright. This game was good because we didn't have any enchantments that we needed to play right now because they have a good amount of enchantment removal. You're clearly playing around the enchantments. There's a lot of enchantments, a lot of artifacts in meta right now. But if you can put some good pressure on the board, not let them establish their meta, so have some good spot removal, you're in a good spot. So we draw a Preacher. And of course, we are just going to remove the threat. Hey, see? Smart of them. But that's okay.
Everyone pays their debts.
Because we got a lot of pressure and we have infinite removal. So they pull back out. On next turn, we remove it. Keep a card back in case we have a board wipe. Obviously, we see their card, so and it's a board wipe for that. So it's a good thing that we kept it back. And I think they removed my dollhouses. Yep, which is fine. We don't need them to win. They do help win, but we don't need them to win in this deck. We have so many other threats as well.
Patience pays off.
We don't need the lands. And now we're in a great spot because now we have infinite
Heroes for the cause.
token generation with our Preacher, infinite token generation with our Fountain, infinite token generation with our Elsbeth, and infinite token generation with our Kaya. I mean, Preacher, I think, with my life total is just going to draw me cards and not generate creatures, but obviously drawing cards when I have no cards in my hand is better than generating me a 1/1, so. And obviously, since they have no cards in the graveyard, I have no cards in my graveyard, that card can't trigger. It's a non-issue. And we can remove it on the next threat. Activate our Fountain. And yeah, now the game's over. There's really nothing that they can do. Perfect spot removal, good top decks, exiling cards, removing threats completely from the
I
game.
have identified the suspects. Take 'em. Everything's coming together. Rise and seize
And boom.
our destiny.
Nice and easy, lemon squeezy. And if we had to use it, we could, but we don't because we have enough power coming in on them where we get acknowledged by our opponents of a good game, which it was. They've made a couple mistakes. I made some mistakes, but I was in control of that whole game. So now we got card draw. We have creature token generation, spot removal. So a nice opening hand. Get down our dollhouse, put a threat out on the board, and if they can't remove it, then we are set with our Lord Skitter coming out. We got 4, so we can play our Kaya. We got Elsbeth if we keep hitting our mana. We got our card draw, so that's probably what we'll throw down next is card draw. I think that would make the most sense. Unless they play something that we need to remove. Eliminate the threats before you build your board if you can. Because a threat can always take you out, and an empty board is always safe. For the most part. Got a little bit of ninjas coming in. No big deal. Yeah, I think they played wrong here. I don't think I would have stunned. I think you should have put counters on it, but that's just me. But I don't play that kind of deck, so I'm more of a black-white guy. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. So now we're building up a substantial board already with the ability to trigger even more coming up thanks to Elspeth. So our Lord Skitter is locked, but we don't care. Because even if they play that, we have Elsbeth on the next turn. So when they played that, I was like, well, yeah, but I can go right around it thanks to the flying. So flying, and I have token generation there. And when I attack, token generation there. So tokens, 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 tokens. Overwhelm with those tokens. Build your board up nice and big. And if I hit another land, I'm able to pop it. Again, another acknowledgement from our opponent. So they're seeing something that they haven't really seen before. So they're acknowledging, wow, that's some power I'm seeing through your card play, which is always cool. And we're okay there. They eliminate their own creatures with my creatures and their ability to surveil. Now we have a little bit of hexproof protection, and we have our extra card draw, which is great. Let it happen. Now I'm thinking about running 2 of the card draw token, Burrow Bunny, whatever it's called. I think 1 is fine though, thanks to the Preachers, my ability to surveil. I like the card a lot. I just want to have more attacks. If you're attacking, they have to be on the defense. You're in a better spot than you trying to ultimately generate cards quicker and on more of a frequency. Because if you draw, let's say I put 3 in the deck, I draw 3 of them, well then there's nothing I can do. Having the extra Lord Skitter to trigger it, that's a little bit more important. So obviously they're taking their time to decide what to do. And got a little bit more ninja play. I think they locked me down again, which I think was a mistake on their part. Yep. Again, generate tokens or generate counters for him. That would be at a 5-6 right now. Swinging in on me. So I know these 2 decks so far haven't been totally new, but that's what's going on in the meta right now. I think people are trying to find where the meta is at, and they scoop. They were just tired of all the silliness I was going on over. So we're on to our 3rd game. We are at a little disadvantage here, but since we're on the play, we should be okay. Because technically we have removal. If we can make it past these early stages, and it's not super aggressive. Like the super aggressive green deck, I would have trouble with here. But I have my Day of Judgment there, which is what I would need on a turn 4 to be able to wipe that board from that turn for that green aggression and being able to win that. So if they played the Badgermole where I don't know if it's a dinosaur comes in on turn 4 and then they all have trample and it's like 6 things you have to deal with. But we're playing a Boros deck, so didn't have to worry about that. So they got a little bit of aggro coming in. So we'll see how this deck does against aggro. So we play our own Johnny. Get down a blocker. And we know that when we need to, if we get our lands, we can take out everything because of Day of Judgment. So Johnny's still in play, which is great. Beautiful thing is about these Planeswalkers is they are a big distraction from your life total. So if someone is unfamiliar with the game and how their deck works, they should be going straight after your life points and they're attacking your Planeswalker. You got a good distraction. You buy yourself a little bit of time. So now we have 2 blockers. And if we get overwhelmed, of course we can take everything out. Okay, that's fine. They remove one of our things, which we don't care about. But now they have wasted 2 extra cards that we then get to eliminate right now. So now they are super far behind, and we haven't lost anything. With 2 Planeswalkers on the board and 2 1/1s. So with what we got, we obviously can eliminate. But instead we decided to go full Elspeth. Drop everything down. Give them a look at, you really want to deal with this? All right, let's deal with it. So now we start to eliminate the big threat, which of course is Annabelle, because we lose life, they gain life.
This is for Teysa.
And now we throw down a bunch of creatures. No, we don't throw them down, we generate using our infinite persistent token creation. And, no reason to even attack. Let's see what they decide to do, which I'm pretty sure is nothing. Yeah, and they're so mad that they just do the sit around and let time run out, and when they just bounce. So I understand you get frustrated, so you make us wait for our wins, but that's okay. A win is a win, even if it takes a little longer. It's the beauty about the clock. Sometimes it just gots to run its full course before you get your wins. Right, and then this is our final match that we are showing you today with this new ORZHOV token Planeswalker removal deck. I'm calling these decks my Lady in White. And we play another Boros. So let's see how it does against a different reiteration and with different cards. It's always nice to play 2 decks in a row that are the same. Then we get to see, okay, how does our deck match up twice against similar, if not the same decks, especially in these best of 1 series. So obviously I don't have Planeswalkers all this time. Last game we had Planeswalkers, this time we have Lord Skitter. We have removal and of course Elspeth, but it's definitely different cards, which is great to see against a Boros deck that's very similar to the last Boros deck that we just played. So how does our deck handle this aggro? Got a big blocker, which is wonderful. I don't think it was the right play to allow that to hit me. I do think that needed to be removed. And a nice little gift comes our way. which we can then steal one of their cards. I think coming up I do make a mistake on what I should play. So I was thinking either between the Enduring or the card I stole, which I went with what I stole. Which this might have been a mistake, but it didn't cost me the game. Alright, so that's where we're at now. So here's where I think I made my mistake. Attacking in to eliminate that so that I could play that. I don't think it was terrible. Because if I would have got that down, because he definitely would have attacked that, so I would have lost, you know, a little bit of life on the next turn. Could have played Elspeth, had Elspeth on the floor, and then when Enduring came in, it would not have went to the sideboard. See, because with Enduring coming in and then another Voice of Victory, that puts a lot. And then here is another mistake I make right here is blocking. I don't think I should have blocked. I think I should have just let Elspeth get hit, because obviously she's going to die anyway. So why am I blocking? Just let them both get hit, and then I would have 2 tokens still on the board. Be able to trigger more tokens. So there's another mistake. So I should have 2 extra tokens on the board right now. Would have swung in, and I would have had an extra 1 token. So we went from a great spot to a tricky spot, thanks to a little bit of not thinking ahead. Again, it didn't cost me the game. The deck was strong enough to come back. I popped up to the right cards. Do I swing? Do I don't? Nope. Obviously, I do. Which takes them down. Half their life. And I have a blocker. So they have to block, which is great. Now I have a blocker, they have 1 guy, and I still have my zombie, which is just so powerful. So now we are kind of on a clock with how many creatures they're able to bring in. We have eliminated a lot of the Voice of Victory, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. But we have to block here. Take 4. So even with our bad gameplay, we have so much token generation, thanks to the Realm of Co. And my dollhouse. Of course, we have a really, really big threat in our zombie. Top deck, Kaya.
Glad to be here. Your problems are my profits.
Thank you so much, Kaya. We appreciate that. And we eliminate our biggest threat, giving other creatures haste, slow down the deck a little bit. So we're fine now. So now we've stabilized. We're in a better spot than they're in. We have 6 life, yes, but if they don't draw the right cards, we will be able to roll over them pretty quickly. That chips us down a little bit. Put down the creature, so it's a little bit more to our wall.
Can't silence everyone.
So the first 3 games, I feel like I played pretty close to perfect. This last game, I definitely made some mistakes. I mean, we reviewed them. So there we go. You hit a big time. That drops them all the way down to 7. That's huge, right? With 4 blockers, they don't pull a creature, so they can't ping me for 2. So they can only ping me for 1 here with the mobilization. I got a trample, but I got my big wall. If they would have drew that sooner, it would have been a little bit bigger of a threat, trouble. Still don't think they have enough to be able to ping, even if they got that into play. We would have taken an extra 1, maybe 2, which would have dropped us down to 2. So we still would be alive. Block, and we still got 3 creatures on the board. We will eliminate one of their threats. Remove one of their threats. But as you can see, now we have an overwhelming force. We have one guy who cannot be blocked. We have one guy who has to be blocked, and then one guy that's an edge. So, there we are. That's game. And boom goes the dynamite. Alright, that's it. That's this deck. It's a wonderful deck. Give it a try. Consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.